can be a stubborn fool sometimes. We're going to call this video The Confidence to Create. And to be honest, it's probably the video I should have made yesterday. So 2 videos in 2 days, don't get used to it. We're thinking once a week on a standardized video, and then we'll take it from there. But here's how things worked out. Hold on. Checking that I'm recording the audio. I made a video yesterday because I just forced myself to do it. I actually was following this Stallion Harness. It's a channel I followed, not the Stallion Harness. That's his methodology for completing projects, basically by establishing constraints. And I'll link to his video because I really like his stuff. I just watched something on procrastination. I shouldn't be watching a lot of videos. I know what he's saying, and it's something I just need to internalize. So we'll talk about it. Here's what I mean by confidence to create. I have made a promise several weeks ago, and I've made this promise before actually, that I was going to release acoustic versions of my songs. Basically, my guitar and me. And that's it. And I completed the song a couple weeks ago, The Tide. It came out really nice. There's some things I'd love to fix on it, but I also determined that I can't keep going back trying to fix something. That's a whole other discussion. So I'm recording over the last couple of days. I've actually posted some videos. I'm recording The Coward and the Fool, a really nice song I wrote in I started in open G, but I've moved it up, put it on 5, so it's open C. Love the way the song sounds. And so here's what I did. I recorded track 2 acoustic guitars, which is really my plan. My plan is just 2 acoustic guitars, left and right, same guitar, or maybe an arpeggio or something like that, but really keep it sparse. And then I was listening to it, and I had this idea for a bass line. And so I recorded the bass line. And I posted a video of that. It sounds awesome. And I liked it. I was like, oh, cool, that's a really cool bass line. And I recorded a scratch vocal. So just a basic recording of me going through the vocals, certainly not complete. Did it in the morning. It is what it is. And then I sat there thinking, you know what I'd really like is a shaker. And so I recorded the shaker, and I added the shaker to the song. And then I was listening to it going, I think I'm going to add a tambourine. And after I did the tambourine, and I kind of go, okay, I got to mix that in. And then I thought, I'm going to record a keyboard part, just an idea for a keyboard part. And just so I can give it to Emiko, my friend Emiko, and she could record some Hammond organ on it. And then I started playing around with electric guitar. And so I was recording electric guitar, applying some amplifier sims. And then I was realizing this morning that I'd completely taken myself off my intended objective, an acoustic song, get it done, get it released. And I realized that it's really just a lack of confidence. This is just me sitting there going, it's not good enough if it's just me and my guitar. So what I need to do is I need to add these other elements, which sound great. And at some point in the future, I might go back and record those things or continue that project and make it a more full-featured recording. But my objective, the constraint that I've set for myself, is acoustic recordings. Get the songs out there. I've stated it before. I've got 200 plus songs sitting there that are not being recorded. Sometimes I'm sitting down in the evening, Deb and I will sit there and play guitar, and I'll be going through some of my songs, and she'll look at me and say, what are you doing here on our bed performing all these songs for me? I like it. She's not saying she doesn't want me to perform. She's like, why am I the only person hearing this? Get this stuff out there. And yet here I am once again finding that I'm starting to layer this stuff on the song, which really is just a way to ensure that I don't release it. And what I really understand is that I am always concerned. I don't have this concern when I play live, but I have this concern when I'm recording, that my vocals and guitar are not strong enough to carry the song. And I almost kind of self-fulfilling prophecy, what I do is I don't spend time on the vocals. Now, when I recorded The Tide a few weeks ago, I listened to the mix that Shinobi sent me, and I didn't like the last verse. I was pitchy, I was flat in a couple spots, And he kind of applied Melodyne and was fixing it, but I still didn't like it. And then I just sat down with my guitar and recorded those phrases till I got them right. I played the notes on my guitar, then I pitch matched it, recorded it, just really tried to put emotion into it. And my third verse in that song definitely sounds better than the first two verses. But I promised myself I'm not going to go back and re-record those. Not yet. If we do the song later, I will. The song is good enough. It's ready for me to release as an acoustic song. So today I sat down and I realized I'd done the same exact thing. I had taken this song, I started building more and more on it. I'm not going back and redoing my vocals. Instead, I'm adding all these other things that sound great, but they don't get me to my objective. And so I realized that once again, I've just gone outside of my constraint. I need to stay within the constraint. So I've printed up a new version of the, I'll have this on the screen, but this is the, there it is. It's just a way to kind of write down what your stated objective is. And for me, I'll release another video where I talk about it, what it's going to be. But the objective is several songs have to be released, just acoustic, to get the songs out there, get me started down this process of getting all of these songs recorded and produced in some manner. We can go back and do full productions later, but I promised myself acoustic songs. And what that means is I just have to spend time on the vocals. So what I did is I sat down with my recording software, with Reaper, and I muted all the things that I had recorded except for the guitar and my scratch vocal. And I listened back to it and thought, this sounds really good. This stands on its own. Now I'm going to re-record the vocals. So the objective is, by this weekend, finish those vocals, mix the song, and output it. And that's going to be the song, and then we'll move on to the next song. So if you struggle with this, if this is something that you've run into as a songwriter, recording songs, just understand you're not alone. I've spent years and years doing it, kind of bashing myself over the head about it, but that's really not helpful either. And so I'm going to point you at the video I looked at, this channel I've been following. I can't remember the guy's name. He's an Australian. Really insightful stuff, and I think it's an important exercise to sit there and just build a constraint so that you're not trying to do everything. You're trying to complete a project. That's really the important exercise. So hopefully that's something that's helpful to you. If it is, if you found it interesting, like, share, comment, all the fun stuff that you do with YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, let's get to creating some projects. See ya.
Listening to her sleep, her dreams carry her away. She won't recall a thing when she wakes, but that don't change anything. She hears the sirens call, sees the distant shore, feels her